Hello everyone, once again you're all welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another Eru recipe, and for this video I'm making my Eru with a special type of fufu and not gari. The first video on how to make Eru was not too detailed and was very straight to the point, so some people requested me to do a step-by-step method on how to make Eru and fufu. So for my fufu, I'll be using this special Cameroon product, fufu flour. It has expiry date and production date. It's a 1 kg bag of fufu, no other, use this, no stress. And so this product is also good for the body because it has beneficiary components such as some vitamins like ascorbic acid, folate, niacin, pyridoxine, and it also has some minerals like potassium, magnesium, calcium, zinc, and iron. And all of us know that these minerals are good for bone and teeth production. So guys, if you have been this type of person that has issue with consuming fufu from the market, you can always get this from any bakery of your choice, such as Njevori bakery wherever you are in town. So I'll be using frozen Eru for this recipe. So for my ingredients, I have here with me some dry fish which has already been deboned. As you can see, I removed every bone from this dry fish, and I also have some frozen fresh meats, red meat or cow meat. Then here with me I have pomo, like how the Nigerians call it, known as cow skin, already washed. I have some Maggie, that's precisely 4 cubes of Maggie, which I'll be using for boiling and any other process. And I have a cup of salt. I have here with me crayfish, which is one of the main ingredients in Eru. You cannot prepare your Eru without crayfish. And I have my washed Eru here. Guys, you guys have to wash your Eru very neatly. Look at what came out from my Eru. Like, is this dead? I washed everything. Forget about the fact that you're removing some of this vegetable, but it's really dirty. You have to wash it very well, please. It's very impossible for those selling Eru in the market to wash. I also have some freshly cut water leaf, properly washed and drained. As you can see, there's no water coming out from it. It's well drained. Firstly, I added my plate of kanda into this pot. I added the next plate of meat, frozen meat. This meat is actually from the fridge, as you can see, and it was already washed before keeping in the fridge, already sliced and washed before keeping in the fridge. So I added 2 cubes of Maggie, a spoon of salt, and I had to allow this. I gave this a proper stir and I allowed this to first of all cook without no water for about a minute. Then I went in with a cup of water, and you also have to make sure that you do not put so much water in this meat because we do not need stock for our Eru. Eru does not need water or anything as stock for it to be prepared. So you have to make sure that the quantity of water that you're putting get dry up at the end of the meat, or at the end of you cooking this meat and this kanda, so that everything get inside, everything is soaked, all the spices, all the ingredients get soaked up inside this meat. So I allow this to cook for approximately 15 minutes. You have to make sure that you don't also have to overcook your protein. They should be well prepared, they should not be undercooked, and they also shouldn't be overcooked. So at this point in time, my meat, my kanda, were just getting ready, and I was checking it when the water was almost dry. Then I added my fish. I didn't want to add my fish at the beginning because kanda and meat, their consistency is not that as that of fish. Fish is softer than them. So I had to allow this to cook, and I added some fresh pepper. Do not say that this pepper is too much. This pepper is not much. It's just that the pepper is not that hot. It's not hot. So I had to add this quantity of pepper, and I allowed this to just cook up with the remaining heat and the remaining water in it. And at this point, everything was already ready. As you can see how my meat is. See how this combination is. It's not burnt. It's just dry and just okay to use for my Eru. The next step was to fry my crayfish. I'm frying this crayfish because when I bought it, it was moist. So I wanted to fry it so that it can be very dry, and when smashing this crayfish, it will make it very easy for me. So I used my frying pan to fry this crayfish, and I did it very low heat. Make sure you do not increase your heat, if not your crayfish will get burned. So I just placed this in a wrap one, and I used a moist cloth, my kitchen cloth in the house, my kitchen towel. I used it. It was very moist to ensure that you don't get pricked by this crayfish. No, crayfish has, I don't know if it's spine or if it's hooks. They just have these sharp things on them like that. So you have to use a moist cloth to make sure that it's well smashed and to also avoid it from pricking you. The third step is going in with your water leaf. And like I said from the beginning, your water leaf, you have to make sure you fix your water leaf and you wash it and you keep it in your colander to drain while you do your other steps, or while you prepare your ingredients and everything you'll be using. So you see, my water leaf does not have any water. Some people always say when they cook their eru or when they cook their water leaf, they seem to find it watery. Water, you produce this water at the end. It's because maybe you don't properly drain it. And whenever I prepare my eru, I don't use this pot. So are you seeing there's no water in this water leaf? I did not use this pot because I used to think this pot, my non-stick pot, always has a way of making my eru to come out. Like, I don't like the way my eru comes out when I use my non-stick pot. But I decided to challenge myself today by using this pot and seeing how it will come out. So the next step, I went in with my eru and I put my eru in sections. I first of all put the first section, I gave it a proper stir, mixed everything. Then I went into the next sections. I just put everything section by section so that it properly mixes with the water leaf and everything. At some point in time, I realized my spoon was not doing justice for mixing this eru mixture. So I had to use my wooden spoon because my silicone spoon could not do the job. I then boil a hole inside this pot. I'll always do it in all of my every video. You always see that I always boil a hole in this pot. This is where I'll be pouring my oil, and at the center of this pot, the fire is centralized. So at the center of this pot, I'll pour my oil here so that my oil can get heated for at least 1 minute before mixing my eru. And this is also where I put my Maggie and my salt and mix it properly, because when you just put your Maggie and your salt in your eru without mixing it in your oil, there are some parts of the eru that will have the taste of Maggie, and the other parts that wouldn't have the taste. And that's what I've realized when making my eru. So I properly mix this and make sure I mix very well, and I also check if my oil is okay. I added some oil during this process because the one I put was not okay. And I went in with my kanda and my meat or my fish mixture. I stirred this properly and you have to make sure everything is properly stirred. And I bet you when you use your wooden spoon to your silicone spoon is the best. And I went in with my crayfish. See how my crayfish is. It's not over smashed. You can still see the crayfish. It's dusty, right? It has some dots in it. So I stirred this also. At some point, I also added some Maggie because the one I used was not okay. So I added Maggie and a little bit of salt. I just allowed this eru to cook. Now my eru is already ready, and I was just cleaning all the spillages from the oil and the eru at the side of my pot. and also I made sure I clean my working surface and also my gas. See this Eru. Would you like to try this? It's so delicious, guys. I mean, it was really delicious. So I just kept this and I covered the pot on one side and went straight into preparing my water fufu. So all of you will be asking, what did you use? What did you use? What did you use? I do not like eating water fufu because it gives me typhoid and every other thing. Water fufu comes with a lot of things because people don't process it very well. So I'm using my cassava. This is a Cameroon product, everyone. I know some of you are not aware of this. So this is a Cameroon product, cassava, produced in Cameroon, processed cassava flour. So I went in with some water and I allowed this water to boil and I removed some portion of this water because I do not want to mix my flour in all of this water. If not, disaster. So I mix this in portions. Make sure I mix this properly well. Like, I applied no stress, no force, no pounding stress. This was so effortless. So I kept on adding my fufu to see the quantity I'll be needing. I had like 2 mouths to feed. And this fufu was so good. It's really clean. It has no odor. I mean, no odor. It's so good. It's soft. You don't even need too much water to cook this. You don't need too much water to cook this, my friends. I would definitely be trying this. And guys, this is my first time using this fufu and I bought 3 packets of this. You can always get it in any bakery. Like I said, there's Jeffery Bakery always available. Wherever you are, you can always get this in Jeffery Bakery. We know Jeffery Bakery is found in many towns, many regions, so you can always get this cassava flour. This is one of the most amazing product I've ever consumed here in Cameroon. So I allowed this my fufu to cook for at least 5 minutes and I checked it later on and I mixed it properly. And I said my spoon was not doing me justice, so I had to switch again to my wooden spoon. I don't know, this silicone spoon is not that strong, so don't come and apply force to it and you break it because I'd already broken one of mine. So I used my wooden spoon and voila, this is my fufu. See how smooth it is. No lumps, nothing. It's not even strong. It's very smooth and nice. So this is the outcome. This is the Eru. This is the fufu. What do you think about this? Would you be trying this recipe? Did this recipe help you? Did you learn something today? If you did, okay guys, please subscribe, like this video, turn your notification bell for more updates, and do not forget to share this video so that others can see and also learn something from it. Thank you guys. Bye.